Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanishing Colorland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 313, season 13. Today's date is March 9th, 2024, and welcome to the show. On today's program, I can't stop laughing about this. I'm going to talk about the Blob from the classic TV series that was based in Chicago, the BJ and Dirty Dragon show. Before that was called Cartoon Town, and he was one of the most memorable characters from the show. So I'll talk about my sort of how he was created and what I liked about him the most and my memories. Also, I'll do a tribute to singer and actor Steve Lawrence. He just passed away this week, and I'll talk about my memories of watching him on television and the movies. Before I get started, the show will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Dixie Riddle Cups. Oh, I remember these. And this commercial is from 1973. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
Hey, kids, what's the same on the outside but different inside?
Dixie Riddle Box! The riddles in my box are different from the riddles in your box. One is black and white and red all over.
A penguin in Miami Beach.
What's the best way to talk to a monster?
Long distance. What does the mirror do when you tell it a joke? It cracks up! There are hundreds of new riddles on Dixie Riddle Cups and now on new Dixie Riddle plates and bowls. They'll crack you up.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial for Dixie Riddle Cups. I remember these very well in the 70s. My mom never bought them. Not really. Later on, she used them for the bathroom or for something like that, but not in the kitchen. Usually you see Dixie cups, any kind of Dixie cups, when you have a water cooler. You know, if you're at home or in a doctor's office or any working office, you would see them like that. My earliest memory of seeing those is, I don't know, it's maybe at a doctor's office. And I remember one time I took like one or two and just read them. And they were colorful, and they had usually knock-knock jokes, riddles, jokes, you know, corny stuff. Like that, and they were fun. So I have no idea when they started manufacturing this or when it ended. So it was between probably when the commercial aired, like 72, 73, and then ended by the late 70s. I don't know about the 80s. I have no idea. But now they just have regular Dixie cups. So those were fun. Those were fun days. All right. At the beginning of the program, you mentioned I'm going to talk about the Blob from the BJ and Dirty Dragon show. I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing about this thing. That voice it's stuck in my head. And I'll do a tribute to singer and actor Steve Lawrence. Before I get started, I want to mention one thing. A few days ago, I posted something about loneliness. And a picture, posted a photo of myself. It's that's tough. It really is, because I suffered that when I was younger, because I was shy. I was bullied because I said this before. I like different things that most people do, that is. And, and you get harassed like that, and you feel kind of your self-esteem just gets lower and lower and lower, and you feel useless, and nobody wants to talk to you, even from family members. And it's a horrible feeling. It really is. And as you get older, you make friends, acquaintances. As when I was growing up, I had maybe one or two friends, close ones. You know, I was jealous because other people, like my brothers, they had someone to talk to, and someone you can confide with, someone you rely on. You know, besides your parents, someone will be there to support you no matter what, and do things together. I never had that. That was hard. But as you get older, you have to change. You have to change. You have to change your personality. You have to be a little more outgoing, more optimistic, more outgoing. And you do. Also, you have to make the first move. I've learned that you have to don't wait for the other person to come to you. They'll come to you, but not all the time. You have to make the first move. You have to go towards them to say hello, introduce yourself. And also, if you know somebody, say hello, how are you? Mention their name. I've learned that in school. If you mention their names many times, they'll get your attention and they'll appreciate you. And it's wonderful. And ever since I started van in Chicagoland, I got more, I meet people online, that I don't even know, or met new friends that I've met on social media, and I talk to them. So just keep it going. Keep talking. If it's their birthdays, happy birthday. Or if they accomplish something, say good for you. Say good morning. Stuff like that. Believe me, you got to have how would you say, a sunny disposition. And so even all kinds of people I talk to. I reacquainted with some people I knew from Koreas, the grade school, high school, Bogan. Also, where I went, with the DeVry, not too many people from there. Also from work, at a Express Travel, we still talk. I met new people that I don't even know. People that did live in my neighborhood, my old neighborhoods, and I never knew them, or they never knew me. Also, people from the media that I talk. They're just like you and me. They're ordinary people. Not ordinary, but, they're just normal, down to earth people. It's wonderful. It really is. And when Vanish Chicagoland got started, slowly, people started to recognize it. That's when it happened. So they associated with me, and that I didn't tell most people it was for me. Maybe I was shy. That's probably the reason. I didn't want to do that. But then later on, I did put my name, and I put the two connections, and then people recognize. Now, mostly people know who I am when I go out, even complete strangers, not too much, but people I know. They always ask me, how are you? I love your page. I love your podcast. They do that. Compliments. I don't expect compliments. I said this before. No. I want them to talk how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, my health. I want that mostly. And I tell them, how I am. It's nice to be recognized. It really is. And, doing something that I started, something very simple, and it just blew up to something wonderful. And a lot of people look forward every day to see what I'm going to post, which is terrific. It's, and I'll continue to do that. It makes me happy. It makes everyone happy. That's what we need in this world. We need some happiness. There's too much dark days and, a lot of crap going around. We need to get away from that for a while. So I am here to serve you. So that's great. So I don't know if beaten loneliness. Sometimes, sometimes I want to be alone just to do things, just want to think. That's okay. But if you want to talk to someone, send them an email, text somebody, call somebody, or on social media, say hello, how are you? Do that. It'll boost your spirits. You'll feel much better. Just do that. you know. But sometimes I'm a little shy, or like I feel a little intrusive. I don't want to bother them. They're in the middle of something. So I do my best. Okay. Just reach out to people when they're needed. They really need, that, how would you say, that confident, to help them feel confident and happy. Works for me. All right. Let's get started. We're going to talk about the Blob. Oh, I was thinking about this week. I want to do something unique for this show, for this podcast, to talk about not just a TV show from Chicago. I want to talk about characters from certain TV shows. Like characters from Bozo Circus or Ray Rayner. I'll do that from time to time, or Garfield Goose. And one of my first I'm going to talk about today is the Blob, because he's one of the most unforgettable TV characters in Chicago television history. As for me growing up, and for a lot of people, he was awesome. He was just, and he wasn't not that special, but he was just memorable like that. So I'll give you a kind of a background on him. Okay. So we'll see about that. So the Blob was created by he was a TV personality, cartoonist. His name was Bill Jackson, and he created it. And I really not. And he created that. When he was in the army, he created all the puppets, not just the Blob, and so he was just, had the wheels turning and all that. And one of his first shows was called Clown Alley, and that was in the mid '60s. And then here comes Freckles. That was he was a clown, and he played that. And I don't know if the Blob was there, maybe, because I never seen it. And then he was hired in 1968 on WFLD TV, Channel 32, and he created Cartoon Town. And he brought all the puppets there, like the Professor, Mother Plumtree, Weird, Wally, the Thumb Twangers, you name it, the Lemon Joe Kid, all them, and W.C. Cornfield, of course, Dirty Dragon. He did that. And Mertz, the Martian Meanie, and Dr. Doompuss, and Gus Gus, the Dancing Gorilla. And my earliest memories of watching the show was in the early 70s, and this was on probably in the afternoon when I came home from school. First, it was on probably noon, I guess. I think so. I don't know if in the morning. I don't believe so. And I was like mesmerized by this show. I go, wow, these guys are great. These are wonderful. And it was amazing. It was like another world watching that. And it was very entertaining. And of course, and BJ had the talking box on the desk. I don't know what his name was. And so there were adventures. It was like continuation. It was like a soap opera in a way, like that. And of course, everyone had their favorite, And my favorite was, I hate to say it, it was the Blob, and also Dr. Doompuss, because he was such an evil badass. He was awful, like that. And he was like, Dr. Doompuss, he likes to be Doom. Well, put Doom on it, like that. And then when I first saw the Blob, it was one of the funniest things I ever saw. And he looked like just a big lump of clay. And when BJ, he would introduce and go, he would say, "To the Blob," and then a little introduction music, excuse me, and go over there, and he's on a on a pedestal, and he was the town monument of Cartoon Town. And sometimes he would be smiling. He'll be down in the dumps. He would be maybe wear a tie or a collar, some crazy costumes, and his face expressions. Sometimes he was sad, happy, angry, and it was when he was when BJ would introduce, I'm expecting what would he look like. What would he look like? And look forward to it. And sometimes if he was down and out, DJ goes, "What's wrong? What's the matter?" And like that. And of course, the sound effects. The Blob didn't really talk. He just talked gibberish, and only BJ understood him. I don't know if the other puppets did. No clue. So, which makes it funny. And the way he talked, oh, it's hilarious. All kinds of that gibberish, like rah, 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 like that. Or he would laugh like that. That was my favorite. Oh, and so BJ would just reshape him, cut some clay off, make him thinner, make him wider, put a wig on, change his eyes, change his teeth, or if he's down and up, he would twist, turn his smile from a frown to a smile, like that. I don't think he did that the other way. No, I don't think so. Or he would put hands on him, like he would carry something like that. He'd probably have the clay on the table like that. He would carry a flag or a poster or something like that. And one time, there was one, I think people seen this clip, that one time BJ says, "Blob, there's a pretty girl down in the park." And then he would just change and he would get excited. And he'd go, "Rah, ah." Like, that is so funny. Anyway, so one of my favorite moments with the Blob, I think I mentioned this on a previous podcast. It was with Mertz the Martian Meanie, and he would go to Dr. Doompuss's castle, and Dr. Doompuss lay out a booby trap for him, and he dropped a box, and it was like doom dust or gloom dust, something like that, and he made Mertz very angry. So they joined forces to ruin the town, and like that. Other characters that did that at the time was the Lemon Joe Kid. I think that was Weird's cousin. He caused a lot of trouble like that. Anyway, so they joined forces, and then with his Mertz's magic wand and Dr. Doompuss's dust, he tried to turn most of the citizens in Cartoon Town into like monsters. And I remember the first victim was the professor, and he turned him into monsters. And then I remember he came home, Mother Plumtree came home, and so what he was reading a newspaper, and he scared her. And then Mertz and were hiding, and they turned her into a monster, like the Bride of Frankenstein. And then they got their hands on the Blob, and they turned him into a hideous thing. It kind of scared me a little bit. And so And he was so when BJ wanted to go to the Blob and talk to him, and the Blob scared him, and he just ran away. Then uh, at the end of the show, which I really remember this, that Mertz was heading towards BJ, and at the time, Dirty Dragon didn't have any smoke. He couldn't breathe fire because something was wrong. He tried like with like that, and all of a sudden the fire came, and then he blew the dust off Mertz, and he became normal again. And he did that with everyone else, and there was a happy ending, and everyone, like everyone went back, they went back to normal, and that was great. So, and then after the show ended, it was from Channel 32. Then they moved to Channel 9 for a year, and then they went off the air. Then they move over to Channel 7, WLS, and went to the Giggle Snort Hotel. That was on Sunday mornings, and I used to watch it all the time. I love that show. I wish it was on DVD. That'd be awesome. All the characters went over there, including the Blob. Okay. So right now I have a clip of BJ and the Blob. He's getting ready, and the Blob is getting ready for a date, and BJ is helping him. I posted this clip before. I think I did this when I did a tribute to Bill Jackson when he passed away. So it is hilarious. So just listen when I play it. So here is BJ and the Blob at the Giggle Snort Hotel, and BJ is preparing. He's helping Blob to get ready for a date. So here we go, and I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
Now, let's see some eyes that say, "Don't you want to go on a date with me, Florence Kid?" Yes, indeed. You're not kidding. All right, hang on there now. Hang on there. Now, listen, I'm not going to send you out looking like any old ragtag either. We are going to do the hotel statuary up in fine style. Look at this bow tie, little bow tie there. Straighten it out there.
Great.
Okay, and got this straight from Fred Astaire. Yes, I did. Look at that. Oh, yes. Now, one last thing. When you call on the ladies, sometimes it's nice to take a little something, token of esteem, and yeah, you better believe it. Right here, you're gonna win her. Oh yes. All right, get a hold there. Now, when you get over there, right, show her those flowers and ask her for the date. Okay, Blob, I hope you and Florence have a nice time, all right? Yeah, right. Hey, and don't forget, be in early. Yes, because I'm going to wait up.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed that segment with BJ and the Blob. Oh, I heard this like two or three times. I'm still laughing at it. Okay. Before I wrap up, with the Blob, I failed to mention, like, where did that voice come from? Someone said Bill Jackson went to a studio and he recorded his voice through like special effects or something like that. And I read somewhere he took a tape recorder and then he would just record and took a metal trash can and he talked gibberish like rah, 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 like that. I don't know. I think that's both of these are true. I believe. I don't know, but so I assume both. Maybe it's both of them. It really was. And as for the puppets, so they're in the Museum Broadcasting Center. I think it's closed, but they're reopening elsewhere. I'm not sure where. I haven't been to it yet. I'd like to go one day and see for myself. So that'd be fun. It really would. That would be great to see. The Blob is there. He's clay. He's like plastic clay, I believe. He's not real clay because if you don't, he will get like kind of moldy and old and bleh. That wouldn't be good. And excuse me, didn't mean to burp. Unfortunately, Bill Jackson died on January 17, 2022, and that was about a year ago, over a year ago. And when he passed away, a lot of people were very saddened, and because a part of our childhood died when he passed away, uh, and that was that. So his memories will live on. They really would. Oh, what a great time to watch his shows. It was beautiful. It was awesome, memorable. It was lovely. I loved them. Okay. Right now, I'm going to talk about singer and actor Steve Lawrence. He passed away this week. He's been sick for a long time. He had Alzheimer's disease. That was diagnosed about 5 years ago. And he was famous for his singing with his wife Edie Gourmet, and they were singing since the 50s, and they were a great duo. They were both great singers. I'll talk a little bit about him, his biography and my memories. So they were known as Steve and Edie, and they first performed as regulars on the Tonight Show with Steve Allen in the mid-50s, and they appeared on many times on the show, other variety shows, like the Hollywood Palace, Ed Sullivan, Dean Martin, or sometimes they were together, sometimes they were alone, solo like that. And so Steve Lawrence was born in in Brooklyn. His real name was Sidney Leibowitz, and so his father was a cantor at a synagogue, and that's how he. I guess that's where he got his singing like that. So he probably practiced. I don't know if he took lessons. Probably not. And then he made some hits. Sometimes not with Edie. A couple of them were like "Pretty Blue Eyes," "Footsteps," and also "Go Away, Little Girl." That was number one before Donny Osmond, like that. In Night and Day, I think Frank Sinatra sang that, and those more TV roles he played. Also, other variety shows, the Danny Kaye Show, the Flip Wilson Show, and all that. Also, he did dramatic roles, like for example, Night Gallery. I remember that. Murder She Wrote, CSI. He was there, and he had his own. He had his own variety show. Didn't last very long. That was in the '60s. He also did Broadway. He was on stage. He was famous for. It was called "What Makes Sammy Run." He used to do that. He used to like promote. It was promoted like on "What's My Line," the game show, and I used to watch that. And he did very well. It ran like over 500 performances, which is pretty good. And let's see, he hosted a like a blooper show. I remember this in the '80s with Don Rickles called "Foul Ups, Bleeps, and Blunders." And it didn't last very long because there was another one with Dick Clark and Ed McMahon that was on NBC because bloopers at the time were funny. Anyway, so also. One of the most famous roles that a lot of people remembered was in the Blues Brothers, and his performance in it was a character's named Maurice Sline, and the Blues Brothers met him in a steam bath, which was very odd, like that. And he was the manager and the friend of one of the main characters. And if you've seen the movie many times as I have, he was in there. He was pretty good. like that. And he's so out of character, like that. But I'm glad he was in it. And unfortunately, Edie Gourmet died in 2013, and she was a lot older than him. And and then I don't know if he continued to perform by solo. Well, maybe not, because maybe he was too devastated to do that. Anyway, right now I'm going to play a commercial that features Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet and the commercial is a Pepsodent toothpaste commercial. You remember Pepsodent? So this is from 1978, and when I come back, I'm going to wrap up the show, folks. Okay, so sit back and relax, and I'll be right back. Thank you.
You know, Steve, no matter how many times we sing on TV, I never get used to that camera.
I know what you mean, Edie. It sees everything.
And when the camera comes in really close...
That's when our teeth just have to be their whitest.
That's why Pepsodent's our toothpaste. Pepsodent gets our teeth their whitest.
And it's low in abrasion. Take it from Steve Lawrence.
And Edie Gourmet. Teeth that need to be their whitest need Pepsodent.
It'll do terrific things for your smile.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Pepsodent that featured Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet. I remember those commercials from the 70s where you get a celebrity and they talk about the toothpaste and the camera zooms in on their teeth, how white they are. That product's been around forever, since the radio days. It's still on the market. They don't advertise it much, but it is there. I saw it in Walgreens or Walmart. Last time I saw it was Walgreens. They had it. One last thing before I wrap up, I want to mention Steve Lawrence appeared, and also Edie Gourmet, but Steve Lawrence appeared on the Carol Burnett show many times. And according to Carol Burnett on X, social media account, he appeared 39 times. And I remember watching him in the 70s on Saturday nights, and he was great. He was funny. He sang in the musicals. He sang by himself. Oh, what a voice. What a voice. And, and then Steve and Edie performed in Vegas, Las Vegas, many times, all throughout the years. So they were a big attraction. People would come into Vegas and they want to go see them. And they always, I believe they put on a great show because they were a dynamic duo, and that's awesome. So it's sad that he's gone. But he's reunited with his wife. So that's great. All right. That'll be all for this program. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the Blob from the BJ and Dirty Dragon show. Also, I did a tribute to singer and actor Steve Lawrence. This podcast will be published later on today, wherever apps are available. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Amazon Music, Overcast, Breaker. There was an announcement that Google Podcasts will go away probably at the end of the month. So I don't know what's going to happen. They said you could move it to a YouTube channel. I already got a YouTube channel. I'll work it out. We'll see what happens. Also, it'll be on my blog, vanchicagoland.blog. You can go there and click on it. You can listen. Also, on my YouTube channel. Somebody asked me that last night. What's your podcast called and where do I find it? It's called Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Go to my YouTube channel, click subscribe. You will get the latest episode. You can also listen to previous episodes if you like. Also, on the apps, you can follow. Same thing. You'll get notifications, and you will hear the latest episode. Also, be shared on my social media accounts, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Blue Sky. So I have the link. You can copy the link. It'll take you right there. You can listen on YouTube. And any place, where it's comfortable, on your laptop, your desktop, on your phone, your iPad, any place, anytime, whenever you're in the mood. Yeah, I'm in the mood to listen to Pete's podcast. That's what these people say. Okay. This, like I said, this will be published later on this afternoon. Tomorrow, maybe I'll do another one. We'll see. I'll get one ready just in case. If not, it'll be Tuesday. It'll be ready. Okay. So this is Pico Steiner, your host of Van Chicago and Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me today. It looks like a nice day. The sun is out. The sky is blue. I hope this weekend will be nice. You know, we need that. I don't think we'll get snow, a lot of snow now. Like a blizzard or like a lot of accumulation. Maybe not. Chances are slim. Also, we changed the clocks tonight. We lose an hour's sleep. A lot of people hate that. I don't like it either. I like to fall back, but that's how it is. Okay, so here's bye bye for me, and here's a little traveling music from Ray Rayner saying bye bye bye. Take care, everyone, and have a good weekend. Thank you. So long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.